Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the third episode for equations. We are going to talk about writing one-step equations. This is actually very easy, and it's a review of writing expressions. Remember, the difference between an expression and an equation is simply that an equation has an equal sign, which means we can solve them. So your objective for this video is, as a student, you should be able to write one-step equations using the four operations. When I talk about the four operations, I mean add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Those are what we're working on. Ladies and gentlemen, you need graphic organizer number 2. And this is on side 1. This is the only side of this graphic organizer because, quite honestly, I don't know if I'm going to have another one. So, there we go. Your objective, remember it, we want to be able to write these things. So, here's some important vocabulary. On your graphic organizer, some of these are not written in. Wow, can't even speak today. So a couple of these are not written in. You actually need to fill these in. Remember, this graphic organizer you have seen before. All of these you have seen before. And you remember, if there is a star, what did that star mean? Well, as a reminder, that star meant that you had to switch the variable and the number. Okay, you need to write them separately. Okay, or flip them. And that's what we're going to do today as well. So we need to make sure that we're going to flip them. So, write these in, take a pause, write them in, let's go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, what we're going to do is we're going to simply write these equations. So 20 more than a number is 55. So very simply, all you have to do is, one, you need to identify the numbers that you're working with. Well, I'm very simply going to tell you that we are working with the number 20. Okay, that's the first one. And we also have 55. So now that I've identified these two numbers, what am I going to do? Well, I'm looking for the signal that tells me what it is. And it says more than. And more than means plus, and we know that from our chart. Okay, so 20 more than a number, and I'm going to go ahead and circle this. I'm circling the unknown. Okay, so the unknown is what we use for a variable. So I'm going to use n because it says a number. Okay, so that's the variable. This is what we do not know. Alright, so now what I need to do is put these together. Notice this word is. Is generally a sign for equal. So it's going to equal 55. Okay, and we have 20 more than a number. So that's very simple. 20 more than was plus a number, n, equals 55. So our total answer, 20 plus n equals 55. And that's our answer. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move on to the second one. Alright, this one, it says 9 less than a number is 20. Okay, so this one we have to be very careful. Once again, we're going to identify our numbers. We have 9 and we have 20. That's nice. We also have our is, which we know is the equal sign. Okay, and we need to go ahead and we need to find our keyword. Our keyword, okay, our keyword less than. Now we have to be very careful because that's one of those that has a star. And remember, if it has a star, we needed to flip it around because we're taking something less than something. So there has to be something for it to be less than. Alright, and we need to also find that we have a number. Okay, and that number, once again, is our variable. So that's our question mark. That's a terrible looking question mark, but anyway. Alright, so 9 less than a number. I'm going to use n again. So remember, we're going to flip them. So this one has to come here and it goes backwards, right? So n minus 9 equals 20. So if I write that correctly, n minus 9 equals 20. And I can solve these at any time. All I have to do is simply draw my line, identify where the variable is, do the inverse operation, so plus 9 from both sides, and that would be n equals 29. So I could have solved that. Now, did I need to? No, because we're simply writing them. But I can show you that you can write them, which you're going to do in your next video. Alright, number 3. A number minus 10 is 30. So this is the last example, I believe, that I have for you. So remember, we want to find all of our numbers. So minus 10, so we have 10, and we have 30. Okay, and then we need to find our variable, and our variable, it says a number, which is really easy because, once again, I'm just going to use n. That's the unknown. What operation are we going to do? Well, we have minus, which is simply there. And we have our is, which we know equals an equal sign. Look at that. So a number, so we have a number minus 10 equals 30. Very simple. This should be very, very easy for you. N minus 10 equals 30, and you could solve that one once again, which is nice, and that would give you 40. Okay, let's move on. So, you got a 2 to try. I want you to pause the video and I want you to try both of these. I want you to write them out. Let's see if you get them correct. I'll give the answer in just a second. Go ahead, write them out. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Alright, and we're back. A number. Alright, so here we go. This is what we should have done. A number. We went ahead and circled a number. That was our variable. Okay. Is 3 times. Ooh, 3 times. 3 is one of our numbers, and 27 is another number. What operation are we going to do? Well, it says times, which means multiply. Okay, so it says 3 times a number 3 times. You got to be careful. A number 3 times. That's really simply 3 times a number, and then our is our equal, and you should have 27. If you wrote n times 3 equals 27, you were very close, but remember there was a rule for writing multiplication. You always had to have the number before the variable. That's why we do not write this one. That's a quick reminder. Alright, next one. The sum of a, alright, and 8 is 20. So find our numbers. We have 8, we have 20. We know that the is the equal sign. The sum means add, and a, ooh, the sum of a is our variable. That's our unknown. So the sum of a and 8. So a plus 8 equals 20. And that's really what you should have. Okay? A plus 8 equals 20. And those are your 2 answers for the independent practice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is almost the end of your video. Very quick one. What we need for you to do is finish these 3 as your exit ticket. When you are done with this exit ticket, you need to do worksheet number 3. Should be fairly easy. Good luck. I'm out.